Okay, so when you have a half Nelson, I've been working on some of these counters and whatnot. One of the most basic counters is just to look away and peel the hands. So you look up, you look away, and you peel the hand. So if I have the Nelson on, here, he's gonna look up, look away, and peel the hand, pull it off. Simple as that, right? That's a very typical way, and he can do it when he's flat or up in a defense position, whatever. So I'm going to show you the recounter. That's a counter. I'm going to show you the recounter. So I go here. As he starts to do it, I grab. I call this a double half. So do it again. Okay, so I'm going to whack his head and put this here. He looks up, starts to look away, grabs. I just grab. I'm sitting here waiting for him to do that. He's going to be hating life in 2 seconds because I have this. Now I just re-grab and I have a double half on him. Okay, so I can keep it here as well. But all I have to do now is slide my elbow to his elbow and start cranking the heck out of him. It's a very, very mean counter. So again, I put him in the Nelson, I jam up, he starts the head up, I grab, I'm gonna re-grab on the top of his head, and I'm gonna jam my hip and turn it like this. Once he does that, you very simply grab his chin here, turn it all the way, grab his delt and bring my elbow to my rib and roll up. Okay, so now I'm pinning him, but I'm also getting a hell of a neck crank. This is one of my favorite finishes of all time. When I was still wrestling and grappling, this is there all the time, that chin. So one more time, let's change direction. Turn this way. Okay, so he's here. I'm gonna take the half, bash him down, put the bar in, like a stiff bar. As he grabs it and looks away, I grab him. I re-grab and put his hand on his own head. I slip my elbow to his elbow as much as I can, and I roll him over. Very easy. Now, I'm gonna take this arm, and I'm gonna push my shoulder as deep as I can, so I can turn his head and grab his chin. Right here. Now, all I have to do is lift up and pull it, the elbow to my ribs. Let's do it again. Let's switch one more time. So actually, I'll do it on this side. So, bash the head, put on the half. He grabs, I grab. I'm gonna put on the double half. I'm gonna jam him over and grab that chin right here. Once I have it, I grab his delt, and now notice, I've turned his head completely to the side. And I roll up. Now, the other thing I can do, there's very few one-handed chokes. Come back here and put head first towards the camera. There's very few one-handed chokes. If, like you notice, sometimes when you go over, I prefer to get this from standing from a headlock because I can make sure I have the chin to begin with. Okay, but from the half, you have to kind of grab for it. Sometimes you'll miss it, like you noticed on that second go, it was hard for me to get. This is when you do something called a head wrap half Nelson. All I'm gonna do, instead of grabbing the chin, I'm gonna put my hand flat on my chest, and I'm gonna squish, I'm gonna pin my hand between our two bodies. So one-handed choke. So as I go for the Nelson, he grabs, okay? Sorry, let me get the half. So as he grabs, I grab here, re-grab, bump him over. Now, when I wrap, I can't get the chin. I'm going to, you can see, I'm just putting my hand flat on his chest here. Okay? See? See that? Then I put my hand in between our chests, and then I lift. So, you okay?
Yeah.
It's choke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible pressure. So again, just put the hand here. It's called a head wrap half. The first one's called a double half. Bump them over, put the hand on your chest, and then just roll into it. So again, that's a counter to a half Nelson. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a half Nelson that finishes into either a head wrap half or a chin pick twist. So, like I was saying earlier, the Nelsons are a great control position from which to set up other submissions or other finishes. So you see, we can use these Nelsons to not only control the guy, but it goes right into either a neck crank or a choke, or in this case, high defense, into a double wrist lock. So it's going to be the same thing. When the guy takes the bait of the look away and peel a hand, I'm going to take my Nelson. When he does that, I'm going to grab. But this time, instead of doing my double like I was doing before, this time I'm going to set up a double wrist lock. So you see, so head down, I get up in him, I grab his wrist. Now pull your hand away. Now I could just be rude and pull his arm back down his spine, my elbow going this way. That'll definitely get his attention. But I would rather just take a nice double wrist lock because I can guarantee a finish. This 50-50, depending on how tough the guy is you're wrestling, if you're going to get it, right? But this is a high percentage. I grab now for frame. Now all I do is put my weight on him, and I'm going to circle towards what we call 6 o'clock. I'm basically going to take my rear end and move towards his rear end this way and roll over for a double wrist lock. Okay? So let's do it again. So I take the half, he reaches, I grab, frame up, I come around, and I take him down for a double wrist lock. So let's do one more angle. You okay?
Yep.
Let's do this side. Turn this way. So slap the head down, high on the top. Put in your bar as he grabs. Wait for it. It'll be there. Frame your own hand. Move this way, and then yank him around for your double wrist lock. So note on the double wrist lock, he's on his side. This arm, I talked about this in the Catch Wrestling Submissions DVD, but it should be like a shark fin up. Because if he's down and I try to push it, the ground blocks it. But here, when I take my frame, I'm sitting close to him and putting my weight on him. I take the slack out by putting my knee on his head, on his ear, so it's tight in here now. Then, when I do that, he's up. I have all the space in the world to move this way. Once it's tight, I only need an inch. Okay? So, again, a recounter from a counter on a half Nelson into a double wrist lock. Okay, so now I showed you the way with Jordan how you can counter a Nelson with the far side one-on-one, but now I'm going to show you how to do it the right way so that doesn't happen and how to finish from that position. So Jesse, if you take a low defense. So same thing, I'm going to take my half, slam the head down, put the bar in, all good. But what I'm going to want to do is get this, but instead of staying here so he can clamp my arm, I don't want to do that because he'll sit into me and roll. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my hand. We call this part of the arm the grandma, because the way Billy used to explain it is that a little old lady could carry maybe 2 or 3 grocery bags this way, but she can carry like 20 in her arms, in the elbow creases. And he used to say that to demonstrate like how to use your body structure to generate strength, basically, to cheat. So if I, instead of grabbing that far side one-on-one and just getting clamped, I'm going to turn my wrist and turn it into, it's almost like a bar, a reverse bar, but I'm going to be here. And notice I put my elbow in his spine. This way, if Jesse tries to pull down, it's not going to happen, right? Because he ends up driving my elbow into his back every time he tries to pull down. So again, it's structure. A guy with a little arm like me, now a guy with gigantic arms, he could probably just pull and rip it, but not me. I'm going to use body structure. So I'm here, and I get this grandma here. Now, from here, it's very simple. I'm going to jam my hip into like the armpit, like I keep saying, and push him over. And I'm going to take my far hip and turn it down. Okay? Right here, I got the pin. But if I sit through, tap, yeah, I'm going to get the neck crank. And basically, once I have it here, like this, come up, and I sit through into him, stacking him over his neck. He's got a bad neck, I think, so it's what you do. So again, come back down. So I hammer his head down, take the Nelson. I go here, but instead of letting him clamp onto me, I grab it up, and I put my elbow in the back right here so he can't really weigh down on me. From here, I'm going to drive him over the far side shoulder, not the near side. I just drive him over this way. Now, see, I can sit here and sit up. And that's very difficult for him to breathe if I lean back into him. So again, that's the proper way to set up a half Nelson with the far side, what I call grandma, instead of one-on-one. Okay, so now off of that half Nelson with the far side grandma, sometimes what will happen, I want to show you a variation that you can get into because, you know, it's wrestling and it doesn't always just, it's not WWE, it's not going to end up perfect every time. The point is that in a scramble, things might end up a little different. What happens is sometimes they hip down, or like for you jiu-jitsu guys, they kind of shrimp into you, they fall to their side. So I'm going to show you what you do. Let's just back up just a little bit here, Jesse. Okay, so same setup. I go here, I get the grandma here, and I try to drive him down, but instead of being able to roll him over his shoulder here, he just shrimps into me that way, like this, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I still have this grandma hooked. I'm going to take the arm, slide it, I'm going to go from the Nelson up to the, like just below the elbow. See how my legs are? All my weight's on Jesse right now. I'm going to sit on his head here. See? Do you see how he fell to his hip, but I still have this grandma? I sit on his head and I keep walking over till I got a pin. So, again, let's do it again. So I start with this position, he falls. Now, remember, I've got to take it off of here. My weight's on Jesse. Sit with the bottom hip on his head. Here, grab it at the elbow and keep coming this way. And I'm putting my hip on his shoulder to pin him down for a 3 count. One more time. Face your head toward the back wall. So, same deal. We take a Nelson, give me your arm. We got the bar. See how the bar is in the middle? Try to muscle down a little bit. See, I've got it caught. Now, as I start to roll, he just falls to his hip, but I've still got this in. I'm going to put my weight on him, sit on the head, and walk him over for a pin. Okay? So, a nice variation. If that far side shoulder pin doesn't work from the half Nelson and the grandma, you simply just sit on his head and walk around. And again, same thing. If I were to sit through and lean back, it'll put a tremendous amount of pressure on his neck. Okay, now you noticed I did the grandma trick. Instead of doing the far side one-on-one, I turned it into this grandma kind of move. What I'm gonna do, this is with a bar arm, which is not an arm bar. I'm using my arm as a bar. So it's a bar arm on his other side. So instead of grandma, I'm gonna overhook it. Like I'm underhook it kind of for the grandma, it's gonna be an overhook. So come on now. The way I like to set this up is from the side. Anytime I'm on the side of the guy, I'm gonna bump him and put his weight into this arm so this arm's light. Then I can pull it up and I can place it on his back. Then I change sides here. Now I've got the nice bar arm on this side. Right, again, pull your arm down. Then it's stuck because the lever is jamming his back. Come up on high defense. So from here, again, I'm going to take that Nelson. Now, all I have to do is just the same deal. I'm going to drive him this way towards his far arm and put him down. Okay? Notice my head's in the mat. One more time. I won't do the setup. Just give me the bar. So, remember, well, let me show you. So I'm on this side. I lean and I pull it up and I jam it in. Okay? Then I come around to this side, go like I'm for a one-on-one, and his arm reaches out like I'm chasing it. That's when I put on my half. Once the half is done and this bar is done, I drive over the far side. Okay? The far side and put my head down on the mat. Come back up. Now, So again, it's not always going to go your way. So, you okay?
Yeah, this one's terrible.
Yeah,
that's
sorry.
fantastic. No, that's great.
Yeah. So let's just start with the bar. So I have the bar. Put it here so I don't end up wrenching you too much. So I got the bar and I got the half. Now, look, if I try to drive them but I can't, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take this knee, notice it's behind, I'm going to put it in front of this knee. My knee now is behind it. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put it in front. Now I'll turn this way for the pin, over the near side. You understand? You okay?
Yeah.
So I can take it, push him that way, but if I can't get it after 2 or 3 seconds, I put my knee in front and pull him this way. So either way, and it's a finisher, right? I mean, it's awful.
Oh, it's awful.
If I really started cranking into him,
terrible.
I'm being nice to him because he's my friend of 20 years. But if you really want to push on him, you'll cut off their air, you'll neck crank them, and pin them all at the same time.
Shoulder lock as well.
Yeah, when you get that bar arm.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're smart, by the way, just down for a second, give me this arm. Don't let this arm, your turn around. Don't let the arm do that. Put the arm here. Because if you do this, when I roll you, this is also going to go up your back. So then you're going to get a nice chicken wing on it too. So, really simple. Half with a bar arm. If it doesn't work, pushing them over their far side shoulder, that should be your go-to because you have strength. Off your legs, I can jump and jam that hip into his armpit and roll him over. But if that doesn't work, put your knee in front. If you don't do that, it's not going to work as well. On a decent wrestler, it definitely won't work. Put your knee in front and pull him the other way over the near side shoulder. So the half Nelson can be taken from a bunch of different positions. So far, we've really been showing you a lot of them from kind of a referee position where I'm next to the man. But you can take it from all kinds of positions. One of my favorite is to do it from basically kind of like a front headlock position. Now you saw the finish earlier. I'm going to just show you another way to enter into the same finish where you have the chin or you can do the head wrap half. So Jordan, just high defense facing me. So we're wrestling, whatever happens, just stand up for a second. So come in for like say sprawl, and for like you're gonna grab my leg, and come all the way down. And he comes down, and I sprawl on him, and I've got the chin. Okay. The next thing I'm gonna do once I have the chin, he comes in, and I stuff it by sprawling. I have the chin. I'm gonna grab under his grandma on the far side with my grandma, and I'm gonna try to grab his far hip. Okay. So we're here. I grab the chin. I come here. Now I'm just gonna turn. All I have to do is turn this way. Now notice I have the head again. Notice I have the chin. So here, grab it, pull the head into me. His head is turned facing that way. I've got the chin, and then I bring my elbow to my ribs, and then roll. Okay, you all right? Mm-hmm. So let's come this way. Again, I'll do it on the opposite side. He comes in for my leg and I sprawl on him. I'm gonna grab the chin from here, okay? I know a lot of you guys wanna go for the guillotine. Hey, if you're good with the guillotine, do it. This is just an alternative. I'm just gonna grab the chin. Here, I'm gonna grab his grandma, my grandma, and I'm gonna grab his hip. Then I just walk around, toss him down. Again, I have the head turned. Pull my elbow to the ribs. Once his head's turned, he's already tapping, I haven't even finished. Then I go up. If I don't like that, I can go for here, I can go for here. So anyway, it's a great control position to turn the man, even if he's turtled. You can come in from a turtle, take the same half Nelson from a front headlock. Okay, so again, like I said, there's a million different angles. I showed you how to attack it from the front. Now I'm going to show you how we would attack it from behind. What we like to do is, I see that 10th Planet people call it the truck, or we put in one hook, and it's called a side ride. It's been called a side ride for over 100 years, 150 years. It's an incredible position because when you only have one hook in, you have so many options from which to move. When you have both hooks in, you're stuck being parallel spines with the guy. It's very difficult for you to change your position. But if I only have one hook, I can go from parallel to perpendicular and even a little bit past 90 degrees. So it's a far superior position in my opinion. I'm going to show you how with just a single half. We'll have Jesse show a power half in a second, which is very similar, but just to show you the power of just a simple half, but how you actually do it the right way. So take a high defense, please. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my boot in. There's a million ways to do this. I've showed this on the catch wrestling submissions. We'll show some maybe in the bonus section of this instructional. But for now, just going to put my one side into his, basically it's almost like in half a hook, right? So like the truck or whatever. Anyway, see how I'm out to the side? My spine is going along his belt. Well, I'm going to change it. This is called a side ride, what we call a side ride. I'm going to change it to a top ride. So I go over and I'm going to hook under here. And I'm going to ride like a saddle. It's also been called a saddle ride, okay? So I got my near side hook in and I'm hooking my shoelaces under his thing. Now take high defense, come up high. So when he's like that and stay strong, it's a lot of pressure. You can see his arms shaking. It's a lot of pressure. And as my head goes out in front of him, it's even more. I'm going to take his wrist, bump him out in front of him, and take one arm and push it out. Once this arm is out, I'm going to pin it, and I'm going to take this arm under and put the bar in. You get my elbow to his elbow, and this is all you have to do. This is why it's not a power half. I'm doing it with one hand. Put the bar, the fist, on his ear, and I just do a push-up like this. See? I just do a push-up here. So, one more time, Jordan. High defense. So, I grapevine it's actually the far side leg, but it's the head end leg. I kick over and I get my saddle ride. I see these arms here. I start getting my weight up on him, bump them out. Once I bump it out, I pull this arm up, pin it with the other hand, come under, elbow to elbow. Then I put my bar on his head and I do a push-up. And that's it. Very simple. Thanks, Jordan. Super simple from a top ride, half Nelson submission. Okay, so this is a really super quick kill. So if the guy that you're wrestling, again, you get to the side and you get that further, this is like what we call a further power half. Okay, so the power half, so come here. Anytime that I'm going to grab his trapezius, I actually kind of can feel his clavicle too. I like to get my fingers in there. And I'm going to weigh down on it here. I'm going to really try to like lever one-handed. Okay, but now I'm also going to throw in this power half as well. So now I can grab my hands like this and I have a lot of power. Okay, because I got this half and this power, this bar. So one of the things I like to do, and you don't need the power half for it, but I like to set it up that way, is I will bump into him again. No, stay strong. I'm going to bump into him so I can take the weight off of this, and I'm going to shelve this arm again. As I lift it up, and the weight's here, I'm going to very simply grab it with this arm. Now I bar, take this, and I just roll him over very simply into a pin. Now, I'm being nice.
I can tap if you twist.
I could roll this way and get a neck crack or asphyxiate him. So, one more time. He's this way. I'm riding heavy. I'm leaning my weight into this arm. He's kind of pushing back, but notice there's nothing here. So I bring it up and I hook it. I hook that in there and pin it because nobody's going to sit there. So as soon as I feel like I'm putting my weight on it, he can't take it out. Put the hand here, take the half, and just roll him over. Super duper easy. So again, that's a far side half, and you can use the power half if you like, but you're going to lean into the guy to take the weight off the near side arm so you can hook it. I hook it, put it here, and then put the half in, and he's toast. You'll lean into him. I'm being nice, just being like a table here, but I could just lean into him, push with my legs, and he'll put his butt in front of his head. He'll be tapping. Okay, so there are moves that you see in pro wrestling that, I don't want to get political or anything here, but catch has been around since the 1870s. It's not even controversial. There's like photos and documents and whatnot. And a lot of people take from catch and don't really credit it. And it's not just in the grappling scene. Pro wrestling does it a lot. I'm going to show you a move that's a legit move. One is better than the other. There's the octopus hold, and you'll see guys do it. Inoki, Billy Robinson used to like to do it. They do it from standing. Highly unlikely to get it from standing, but you're going to get it on the ground. There's a variation called the mousetrap that I think is better. It's a pin. So, guy gets me on a collar tie. I'm going to take the Russian. Okay, just normal Russian tie. Here's where the trick is. Let's suck this in, and I'm going to try to change my hips to him. Now, he might think I'm going to try to do like a hype or something like that, or what judo calls nuchamata or whatever. But it's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a grapevine. So I'm going to go here and I'm grape on his leg. Once his leg is graped, I'm going to take this and I'm going to lever my chest to where he goes down on the mat. Now, I don't want him to break down flat. Here, I'm going to let him put his arm down. So he puts his arm down. I'm going to take my half, my power half, here. Once he does that, see how this arm is right here? It's still up. I'm going to take my leg, hook it in, and merely push him to his side. This is the mousetrap. Okay? So I can hold him here all day. Now, come back. So we'll do it again. We're wrestling. I take it. I come in. I take this. I start to break him down. Now let him put his hand down. Bam. Club. Far side power. Now I'm going to push into him. I'm doing that so there's space on this arm. Hook it here. Now I take my half and pull him over into a mousetrap. Okay? Now, if I wanted to do the octopus variation, which again is not, I like the mousetrap better, but I take the grape and I have the arm and I get him down. So as we start going to the ground here, what I'm going to do when I shift here and here and I take this Nelson, I'm going to pull this up with my leg. Instead of hooking in front, see I was hooking it with this for the mouse, I'm going to pull it up on a shelf here, and I'm going to, as I pull him over, put it over his head. Grab his arm here. So I have, you can see, I have the arm bar. Now, the reason I don't like this is if his arm can come out, or he could just shuck his head out of the leg. Try to pull your head out of my leg. I still have him decently, but it's not as good of a pin as the mousetrap. So, again, he grabs me, I pull it, I pull him down. As soon as he's down here, I'm going to take my half. This time, you can, however you want to secure him, hold him here so you can get this near side arm. Pull it up on the shelf. As I fall to this hip, I'm going to kick my leg over and hook this arm. Okay? Now, if you want to be really cruel, you take it this way. Okay? So again, mousetrap, you okay?
Yeah.
Mousetrap or the octopus variation. Let's do it one more time. We'll do the mousetrap from this side. So let me face the other way. So, no, down the same way. I pull it, I hop in here, I bump him down, I let the arm hit. Okay, as soon as it hits, club, come in for the Nelson. Now, I need to hook this here, put the Nelson on, and roll him over for the mousetrap. Okay, super duper easy. It looks complicated, it's a lot easier. Just take a couple times for you to get it. Now, if we do the octopus, grab my head, I pull the Russian, I take this, I bump him down hard. This time, I'm going to go club him one-on-one, hook at the elbow, stand up. Now, I'm going to fall to my side, take it over his head, and if I can, wrap around here for the octopus hold. So again, mousetrap or the octopus variation. Take a Russian, take a grapevine, bust him down, put the arm down, club the head, take the far side one-on-one, shove the arm, fall to your side, hook the head, and take the arm. Octopus. This is a funny story. Before I trained with Billy, I was very lucky. I spent basically what I consider a 7-year apprenticeship learning coaching under Billy. And but before I met Billy, I was mentored by Carl Gotch for about 4 years, from about 2004 to 2007. And I got to work out with him, and he put me through his awful workouts and all those kind of things, which is a whole other story. However, at that time, this was probably around 2006, the Twister was really popular. It was the thing, and everybody's trying to figure out new entries and stuff, and Eddie Bravo had just done so great with it. And so I was really excited to show Carl this move. And what he said to me is I put it on and showed him the move, and he's like, why would you go all the way to China when you could just go to 7-Eleven across the street? And so I'm like, well, what does that mean? So from the side ride, normally you try to take a twister by getting this arm. That's not easy to do. So you have to set the guy up. What Carl says is instead put on a power half. So you take it here, you take it here. Now you just throw him this way. And now, see, if I took him all the way down, I'd have a pin because of the shoulders, but it's the exact same as the twister. It's just from a Nelson. So it's a further Nelson. I call it a Carl Gotch twister, but really it's a further Nelson pin. Okay, so let's take this angle.
I don't know if the camera picked it up, but I got a nice chiropractic adjustment.
I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Crack, 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 crack.
So, turn this way. Okay, so let me get my hooks in. So I get the one grape, okay? I'm not wanting to get the wrestler's guillotine or the twister. This time, see, he's already up. I'm gonna whack the head, take the half, and just drive him down this way. And I can ring him out. Okay? So, the Carl Gotch twister or a further Nelson with the side ride.
All right, so what I'm gonna show now is some material from that side ride, and I'm gonna show how to use the power half. But the first thing, Jake asked me to show an entry into the side ride. That's a little different, one that Billy showed me that I really liked. So if Jordan is in his defensive position right here, one of the things I'm going to do is use the catch wrestling to enter in, and I'm going to break down the different things that I want to do. First thing I want to do is control him and not let him roll. And I want to be very careful of one thing. So Jordan, come over here and get on me on the side. What you see a lot of people do in just regular wrestling, he'll stand up with this leg and put it in between my legs like this, and he'll start fighting with me. And that works really well in wrestling, but with submissions, if I roll, I'm going to take his leg right here for a knee bar, and I'm going to finish him. So I want to be careful when he's on his side, I don't give him that leg for the knee bar. So I'm going to stay right here, and I'm going to be in front of him, bump him. Now if I want to be mean, I'm going to jam this in and lever down, but it's my son, I'm going to be nice to him here. And as I got him, another thing is I don't want to just hug here, because if he reaches back and grabs my elbow, he can wing me and roll me over, which I don't want to have happen either. So I'm going to use the back of my hand and control his hips. And now I'm going to enter at his ear, come in, get a good crossface, and grab right here. Now this crossface is legit. Billy had a submission where I could just step up, forearm lever, and tap him. So he needs to feel this like I could submit him from there. Once I get this locked in, my next key move is, if you can see my knee right here, my knee is in front of his knee, because that's going to bump him over. Now I'm going to reach over and I'm going to grab right where his shin meets his ankle. And now I'm going to pull him back, get this in, and get that nice figure four on his leg. Now he's not going to stay here, because if I start pulling, I can almost tap him, or I could get this leg and I could hit a shin lock. There's a lot of things I can do, right? So I'm just going to give a little thrust, and he's going to try and get back over, and I'm going to be in my side right here. Now once I got that in, maybe I'm not able to get that guillotine, and I don't feel comfortable with the banana split, so I'm going to lock in my power half, and as I fall, pull him right back over. Now if we see here, there's some great catch submissions. I'm going to control his head, shoot, and get a full Nelson. Now depending on if you're long-armed, short-armed, muscular, skinny, you could finish palm to palm and take his head to the side. You can finish finger hook grip, take the head to the side. Palm to palm, head to the side. You could even use a fist with the brace, head to the side. And those all work really well from right there. Let me show that from the other side. So Jordan turns this way. And as I go, let's just show it from the side right here. All right, so here I am. I hit that good cross face, control. Get his foot, knee in front. Pull him back, get my leg in. He doesn't want to stay here because I'm going to pin him. So he comes back up, and I come up, and I feel uncomfortable. I don't feel like I have a solid side ride. Maybe I can't get the banana split. I'm going to switch to my power half. And once that's in, I'm going to dump him and pull him back over. Get that in, control, shoot for my full Nelson, palm to palm, braced fist, finger hook. And if you notice as I get this, I'm taking his head not straight down, but to the side, and I'm winging my elbows out. And that's putting the pressure on him. So full Nelsons aren't legal. Obviously in catch wrestling, all submissions are legal. There's a couple other things we can do from here. I have Jordan and get my good cross face. And you notice, similar to what Jake said on the sugar hold, I'm not grabbing up super high. I'm getting more on the elbow. It gives me a stronger lever, controls his arm, doesn't let him just wing out. I pull him over, get my leg in, he comes back up, and I'm up. I got Jordan, I pull him over, bam, I got him here. Now if you see how his arm is up in the air, I could just take this arm, wing it over, right into my sleeper hold. Now as I go for my sleeper, I'm going to take this hand, put it on this shoulder, and this hand slides over to my other shoulder. So if you see here, my hands are actually on my shoulders. And now I'm just going to bring him in and try and pull his heart into my heart. Don't cross my ankles, and just bring it in. And there's my tap. Do that one more time. From the other side here. Good cross face. Grab his foot. Pull him in. Lock that in. He struggles. I use him to pull me up. I feel like I'm off balance. Go in my power half. Pull him over. Get this in. Pop that off. Go shoulder, let my hand slide behind, shoulder, and take the tap. Good. Now to ease Jordan's face a little bit there, I'm going to go ahead and just get my side ride in. Now let me get that in. So a lot of times when you get this and you pull your man over, they're going to be strong and they're going to sit up. Maybe they're going to go for your ankles. Maybe they're going to try and sit out or fight. What I'm going to do is take my hands, switch, push his head, and grab on this arm. Now I'm going to throw this leg over, almost like I'm going for a bow and arrow choke. Throw that leg over, take his arm, squeeze my knees together, and finish with the arm bar. So if we see that, Jordan, can you sit facing the camera that way? Just sit here between my legs in the double skyward. So I've used my power half to get to this position. My power half is strong. The way I like to do this, another way, is to shoot my arm through, but not let go. So he's going to try and grab my hand and pull it down, but my thumb is down. So he's not going to armbar me or brace my elbow. Now I'm going to suck him into me, switch my feet, fall back, and hit my armbar right here. And that's some moves that I like to do. The power half is great, because it could also save you. If you're a little off balance, you feel like you're gonna get shucked, kicked, mule kicked, donkey kicked, dumped off, you could throw in that power half and pull them to the side. It puts tremendous pressure on the neck. And then once they go over, they're gonna pull you right back up, and you have those three great submissions there. You have the sleeper, you have the full Nelson, and you have the armbar.